Hello everyone, Warhammer here and welcome to a new Let's Play series for the channel. Now that Alice Madness Returns has come to an end, I thought I'd take the opportunity to do a Let's Play series on a game that I've wanted to do for quite some time, and that is Total War Warhammer 2, and more specifically the Mortal Empires campaign. Now I am a big fan of the Warhammer franchise for Total War, and I've always wanted to do a Let's Play on it, but thanks to limitations with my PC setup, I have really found it difficult to even just play the games, let alone actually do a Let's Play. Some of you may recall I did a Von Carstein series for a couple of episodes, but that came to an end after me doing a 10-minute siege battle, if I remember right. It was about 10-12 minutes, according to the in-game timer, and yet the recording actually took over 20 minutes because of how slow it was doing the battle, and so I had to put it to an end. But now, with a more powerful setup, I can finally do it. So let's get started, shall we? Now, a few things about this campaign, apart from the fact that we're going to be playing with Mortal Empires, is that I am going to be using quite a few mods. You can find a link for them down in the video description for my collection. And it's a variety of different ones. You've got general ones that I've used for campaigns, so things like the ability to abandon settlements and swap them with your allies in case you want to take Pacific territory but not actually keep it. I've got Mixu's Legendary Lord, so we're going to see some famous names from the Warhammer lore appearing in the game, as well as quite a few others, and I will mention them as and when I use them. But that's the big one, is the Closer to Tabletop mod. I have to say I'm quite liking it after coming across it thanks to Surreal Beliefs, so I'm going to be using that for this campaign. Now, as for who we're playing as, I have to be honest, I have been quite torn about which faction I wanted to do. I mean, there's quite a few, especially from Warhammer 2 that I like. I mean, on the tabletop, my favourite has got to be the Vampire Counts, but I also enjoyed the Dark Elves, Lizard Men, High Elves, the Tomb Kings were okay, they were kind of interesting, I will admit. But even things like the Dwarves, I was tempted to do one with Karak Kadrin and Ungrim Ironfist. But, as you can tell from the video title and from the intro video, we're going to be playing as Bretonnia, and more specifically, as Bretonnia, with Leon Kerr as our general and legendary lord. So, if you haven't checked them out, the Bretonnians are well known for using their knights, something I'm looking forward to doing. It's been a long time since I've actually used them in the game, let alone actually use them for CTT. So, it's going to be interesting, I must say. We'll see how it goes. But just to check out some of the stuff here, we can see that Leon starts with all the knightly vows unlocked. All my characters will now have 10% campaign movement range bonus, which is great, as well as a 50% aura size when attacking. We start off with some chivalry already. When we're fighting Chaos Undead in greenskins, we get extra leadership and melee attack, it seems, and we already start with the passive ability, the Blessing of the Lady. Alongside this, we have a unit of Pegasus Knights, a Trebuchet, and a unit of Knights of the Realm. Now we're going to be playing on hard, but that battle hardness is going to be open to change, I should say. The reason being is that from what I've gathered, the CTT Overhaul is actually balanced for normal difficulty. Now, the thing is that when I was using it to play as the High Elves, I found it quite easy to defeat my enemies with it. So, admittedly, they were High Elves, these are elite troops, and their tabletop matches that. So, I remember putting it up to hard and found it quite a bit more difficult. Now, there are YouTubers out there, such as Surreal Beliefs, who actually play with the CTT Overhaul. At the moment, he's doing some campaigns with Heimlich Kemmler in the Barrow Legion, as well as the Wood Elves under Orion. And he plays them very hard, and I have to give it to him, I couldn't. I mean, I've had my Sword Masters of Hoeth get dismantled and charged by a bunch of low-level units sometimes, so seeing his skellies and his zombies surviving as long as they do, I'm quite impressed. But we'll give it a go, we'll see what happens. If it is too thing and I keep losing battles because of, the extra bonuses the AI gets, so I may pop it down to normal, we'll just wait and see. But now, one thing I have noticed, thanks to this new setup, is that the loading times are quite long for some reason. They shouldn't be, but they tend to be. And it's not because of the mods, because I have checked it with vanilla. So I'm going to cut from this, and I'll see you guys on the campaign map in just a moment.
Greetings to you, benevolent Royak. Blessed is your rule over Bretonnia. Yet darkness spreads from abroad and threatens your kingdom. The threat is real. It must be faced. To the east, the greedy merchant princes of Marienburg conspire to consolidate their riches. Observe that much wealth flows into Marienburg, but very little emerges. Further south, in the Grey Mountains, greenskins and dwarfs vie for control of the peaks. Whoever wins may yet cause trouble for you, my lord. Beyond, the wood elves in their mysterious forest protect their homes. Whilst at the coast, the Duke of Bordello is as unpredictable as the roiling sea, and as secretive as the watery depths. Elsewhere, the unliving lords of Musilon wage war against mortal men. The bickering dukedoms ignore the looming threat, and so it falls to you to act, my liege. Only a united Bretonnia can face these growing perils. Raise your banner, King Leoncoeur, and drive this evil from the world in the lady's blessed name.
For the lady, indeed. Once the game decides to pop up, there we go. So, that was a bit of an introduction about what to sort of do in this campaign to begin with. But it's the Mortal Empires campaign, so we've got literally the world open to us. We can decide to do whatever it is we fancy. So, we'll give it some thought. Now, as you can see here, we've got some information about how Bretonnia plays. We've got about chivalry, the fact we can call upon the Green Knights, and the fact that we have to be a bit careful when it comes to the amount of peasants that we recruit. Having too many in our armies will cause our income to suffer as we're pulling them away from the field, so to speak. So that's definitely for something to bear in mind. Thank you. And here we go. The Infantry War. Attain 800 chivalry. My lord, the Dukes of Bretonnia have sided under a chivalrous code for many years. Honour this tradition, build upon the great foundations of Guilds Le Breton, and lead the knightly orders forward to glory. So by getting 800, we get an extra 5,000 treasury. Nice. And here we go. Our first starting province of Curon. Now, we've got two regions here, Le Guild and Curon itself. And so far things are okay. We've got, once the game decides to do this, Jesus, it takes a while. Doesn't do it usually when I've been playing this. Maybe it's because of me trying to record as well. But already I'm going to jump ahead and upgrade this. Now, we do have a training field already for men-at-arms and spirit-arms. But I would like to try and improve things a little. Now, we do have a farm already at Le Guild, ready to give us a bit more income. We could go for Weaving House, get a little bit more. Pox Shelter to get more growth. That's a lot of money though, considering that it's cheaper for some of the things you can get from the elves, for example. But that's one of the things when you're playing as the old world compared to the new. For now though, I'm going to we'll spend a fair bit of my money on some stables, so we can get access to mounted yeomen, and eventually be able to upgrade to get knights, which are going to be a fantastic addition to our forces. But with that, we need to start, speaking of forces, upgrading my army a little bit more. Now, one of the mods I'm using along with CTT is the Tabletop Cap mod. Now, what this does is, for those of you that may be familiar with 8th edition Warhammer, is that in the tabletop, all the units were separated into 3 types. You had corps, which represent the mainstay of your forces, all the common troops you normally find. Special were your more specialized units, and you were allowed so many of them. And then rare were your very rare ones, your monsters, your artillery pieces usually, and so forth. Now, depending on your army, depends on what units were what, but the general rule was you're allowed as many core units as you want. Your special ones were limited to roughly, I would say, half your army, and your rare was even just a few units usually, but they were your very powerful units most of the time. So in the Tabletop Cap, it introduces this by giving all of the units one of 3 categories. Now these guys are all core units, so we can have an unlimited amount of them. But as we get onto our specialized troops, we'll find we can only recruit up to 10 of them, or 10 points worth. And depending on how good the unit is, depends on whether they cost 1 skill special, 2 specials, or 3 specials. So, and the same with rare, I think you're only allowed 5 points of rare units. Now, something that is quite nice is the fact that it also applies to the AI. So all of our AI will hopefully be seeing a lot more balanced forces, rather than just seeing them overwhelmed with, like, you know, I don't know, free companies, for example, if you're playing as the Empire and that sort of thing. So a nice little addition, and I'm looking forward to checking it out with the Bretonnians. Now on the tabletop, Knight Errants and Knights of the Realm were core units, so we should hopefully be able to recruit those and get a lot of them once we actually get access to Knights with the next tier of cavalry buildings. But for now though, we haven't got that much money. We're just going to get an extra unit of spearmen and an extra unit of bowmen. And then we have to start sorting out our target. Now we are at war at the moment with both Marienburg, it seems, and who are these guys again? The Skull Smashers. And these guys are taking quite a bit of attrition, it seems, because of the introduction of Heinrich Kemmler and the Barrow Legion, which start off here in their province. These guys have got quite a lot of vampire corruption to deal with. And it will slowly go down, but it means I'm not in a particular rush to go after them. Instead, I'd rather try and go after Marienburg, so we can get that and get access to the higher amount of wealth. So in fact, let's do this. We're going to move you, good sir, down to here, so we can spy out what's going on there. And now we'll take the opportunity to boost our units up a bit. We'll go for that, and a unit of spearmen for the moment. Okay, everything else seems fine. There's not really much else we can do for the moment. Now let's see about technology. Now they did nicely upgrade the Bretonnians in an update to make it so we now got quite a few more degrees that count towards the new units and armies that we face. So for example, we've got, which one is it? Here. Secure Shores Decree, which means Secure Shores Decree, sorry, which means now we can actually fight against Dark Elves. We've got this one for Skaven. I think we had one for Tomb Kings. Yeah, this one. Vampire Coast as well, so that's a nice addition. But for the moment, let's go for economic investment. An extra little bit of growth and income is going to help out. It's not a lot, but every little bit will be useful. Likewise, let's see what we can do about boosting this up. Growth is something I would like to try and do, but money is going to be our problem right now. So let's go for a Realm of Chivalry to try and get some cheaper buildings next turn. Theory, in fact, let's cancel that for the moment. We can spare one turn, and it means that we're going to save a bit of cash from doing it. So we'll leave that for now. But now we've got the big thing. Diplomacy.
Who calls?
So let's see, the Empire, we're actually quite powerful right now, so that's something for us to bear in mind. And it does mean that quite a few of them may be open to negotiations like this. They're willing to give me 200, that's fine. BNS, are you willing to trade with me? You're not? Fine, be like that. Non-aggression, let's go for trade, and let's get some military access.
No evildoer may
Carcassonne.
doubts in your heart, noble knight.
Oh, don't be like that, fair Tranches. We'll do that for now. Bordelot, what about you guys?
If you insist.
We might as well continue to build our relationships with these as much as we can.
How can I assist?
Chris, are you willing to do...
As you say. I think not.
No? Fine. We'll take the opportunity just to give some more money from here. We haven't defiled the Phoenix Core, we haven't even popped over there yet. 53. Vanna Himlins, okay. But there we go, we've managed to sort out a few alliances for the moment, anyway. And let's end the turn. So what are the plans for this campaign? Now, there are a few objectives you can choose to do, which are short and long ones. For the Bretonnians is normally involved in getting so much chivalry, and it can be a lot of chivalry for this campaign. But I'm not planning to do that. What I'm thinking of doing is trying to do a little bit of sort of role-playing. And now, first of all, I want to secure Bretonnia. Now, maybe in the future it could involve confederating with all the factions, but for the moment, it's just uniting them underneath my banner. So this could be through military alliances, and getting a military alliance in particular. It could involve vassalizing them, it could be just confederating with them. We'll have to wait and see. I would like to ideally confederate with Carcassonne, because then we can get the Fair Enchantress, and she will be a nice addition to our armies. But we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. But that's our first objective, to unite Bretonnia. Once that's done, we'll sort of see what's going to happen next. I don't have any real intentions of marching into the Empire and trying to conquer their territory if we can avoid it. But we could look into going some other directions, like we got, for example, going down towards the Tomb Kings and Araby, because those are the historically major places that the Bretonnians used to send errantry wars, or crusades you could say, down there. And there are a few factions of Bretonnians down there already for us to be able to meet. You can read a bit now as well about our factions, and we've got the fact that we've got green skin incursions. Okay, that's fine, which just means we're dealing with control issues and or public order issues until we defeat some greenskins. But that's what I'm thinking right now, is just to unite Bretonnia, deal with maybe some of the units around here, so like the Barrow Legion of Blackstone Post, we definitely want to eliminate so they're not spreading corruption. And we'll sort of do what we can about Bretonnia itself, and then we'll see what happens next. Maybe to deal with like Skaven Blight down in the south. Maybe go into the Badlands. We've always got Bretonnia, Plustria and the New World we can go to. We can start fighting with Dark Elves. We've got quite a few possibilities. We'll just have to wait and see which ones catch our fancy. Now at the moment, you guys are starting to recruit more units. We don't particularly want that. So let's bring you into here so we can actually try to stop them from doing that. Now, we could fight them as it is. We do have artillery pieces to bash down the walls. They happen to have a cannon as well, but we'll be careful about that. The main thing is that they do have quite a few units here, so I'm going to try and just wait them out a little bit. We're going to build some siege equipment up. I'm in no rush to majorly take the settlement, so we'll just let them do that for the moment. We've got our right done, so let's build that up. We can actually get this done now. Continue getting outgrowth. The only thing is that we will face rebellion if I'm not careful, so I do want to try and take it sooner rather than later, so we can actually go after Grunzint. I mean, before us to bash down thing, we're going to have to bash down the gates and rely on my Pegasus Knights to try and eliminate enemies on the walls and that, see what damage we can do. We'll leave it for one turn. Oh, we'll leave it for 2 turns. I mean, we can manage the balance here, okay. What we'll do, in fact, let's switch this over to the Peasant's Duty. Which one is it? Venerate the Lady for extra 10 control. That will keep things under control for at least for a little bit, and then we can go after them later. And that's all we need to do, is eliminate the Skull Smashers, and that gives us more positive public order as a result. Now in the meantime, we just have to sit through the rather long end turn phase. Now obviously this is a bit of a thing you have to deal with when you consider how many factions are on the map right now. I mean, we've already gone through, we're just finishing now the Dark Elf, the Skaven. Ah, you want to come out and play? Well, I'll tell you what, let's fight this battle first of all, so we can just see how it goes, and try and get some experience with the Bretonnians on the tabletop. Now, the enemy, they do have a few units, but their garrison is going to be coming on afterwards if they're not already there. And we may be able to fight them quite well. We'll let them come towards us, we'll use our trebuchets to try and do some damage. We'll have our Pegasus Knights go after some of their units, especially ones maybe like the Empire Knights, so we don't have to try and deal with them all that much. Now, we'll just let them head towards us. We'll try and engage them with our Knights, Leon Kirk, and deal with their general, Edward van der Kwouw. And we'll see how it goes. Now again, loading screens are going to take a little while, so I'll just see you guys on the battlefield in just a moment. Okay, time for the battle. Now I'm pretty happy with the Winds of Magic, so we're just going to go straight to deployment. And it looks like, if we're lucky, we might be able to deal with this quite well. The enemy's reinforcements are coming in from here, so if we can engage that first army and wipe them from the battlefield quickly, we can then focus our attention then on the reinforcements. So let's see if we can do this and take it into account. So spearmen are going to come onto our front line here. We're just going to have them nice and deployed out. Let's use you two a little bit further stretched out like that. You guys can fall up then on the flanks, ready to head round. And one thing about you guys, we're definitely making sure to toggle guard mode. Archers, we're going to put you guys in the center here. They're not going to do that much damage, but every little bit's going to help. And we do have access to defensive stakes, if we wish. Never actually used this before, and I don't know if it does work, to be honest. But apparently increases their melee defense and gives them expert charge defense. That could be quite useful against enemy cavalry. Now speaking of cavalry, we've got 2 units of Knights of the Realm. I'm going to put these over on the flank. Switch over to Lance ability, like so. It's quite nice, it gives them a 20% charge bonus and charge speed, so we'll be able to smash in and do a lot of damage. Trebuchets, we're going to have you guys forming up on here. We'll just have you firing straight at the enemy as soon as we can. My damsel can stay here. We can use her ability Harmonic Convergence here to give extra defense and attack, so we can actually use them on maybe our knights or even Leon Kerr here, just to really do some damage to the enemy. And finally, Pegasus Knights. Now we're going to pop you guys right up here, so we can at least keep an eye on what's going on with the enemy and maybe start some early attacks as we move forward. So with that, let's start the battle, slow things down, and let's start moving. So you guys are going to start moving up straight towards the enemy like so. You guys can start firing on their army. We're not going to worry too much about the knights. Let's go for the units of free militia. These are pretty decent ones. Swordsmen are coming up towards me though. That's going to be a thing. So we'll let them do that for now. Let's slow that down. See what we can do about attacking some of these units. So let's have you guys charge into here. You're going to come towards there. That's fine. Okay, knights. We're going to have you guys charge into this unit here. Let's have you guys charge in as well. Alright, damsel, we'll have you switch over to this. Let's give you to Leon Kerr. Okay, you're going to go and wipe them out. Great. You guys can focus fire on this unit now. Okay, we need you to finish off taking that unit out for me, please. Right, swordsman, we wanted you to do some damage. That's great. Continue to do that. Alright, spear at arms is still getting into position. That's fine. Let's let that continue to do its magic. You guys need to come down here and finish off this unit for me. No, I'll tell you what, go after that unit and chase them down. While taking a few hits from the Free Company militia here. But that's not too bad. Once we've made sure they're shattered, we can have these and then turn around and attack the cannon and the artillery crew. You guys are broken, you guys are done as well. Great. Let's switch you guys back over to this side. Leon Kerr can join back up in the middle. Enemy Lord has been wounded. Huh. Did we kill... Oh, wow. So the enemy's general has already been defeated by us. That's great. Let's have you guys switch targets now and see about going after that unit's swordsman. You guys can come after these. You guys can come over here now and deal with them. They seem to have run off quite far. We'll let them carry on doing that. What do we have coming in now from the enemy? We've got halberdiers, crossbowmen. These guys are going to be a bit careful. They're going to start shooting at my Pegasus Knights. We'll try to eliminate this enemy as quickly as we can. And then we'll pull back then with them so we don't lose too many. Alright, losing decisively. We need them to lose even more quickly. Especially before we have to worry about swordsmen and that coming in. Alright, so they've retreated. Great, let's pull you back out. And we'll pull you back now behind my line here. Okay, you guys can start focusing fire now on this unit of halberdiers. Leon Kerr, we're going to pull you back slightly here. And we'll pull you guys slightly back. No, let's pull you over here. We should be able to get them to charge quite quickly then into melee from where they are, so we'll be able to deal with that. Let's let my archers try and do some work now against these units. These are shielded, so let's switch your target to something a little bit more effective. Go after the halberdiers. Swordsmen, halberdiers. Try and take out that unit if you can. And do some extra damage to them there. Okay, let's switch you over to here a minute. We've got halberdiers coming in over here. Let's pull you guys out slightly to cover them for me. Right. Stop. No, 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 no. You're not walking away, are you? Let's pull you guys back. Alright. Let's have you start into the thing. We'll slow down time a minute and start engaging the enemy's troops. You can go after their general for me, please. You guys are going to engage here and here. That's fine. Alright, we need you guys to pull back to there. Right. They do have their units of crossbowmen over here, but I want to really try and eliminate their enemy forces if we can from the flank. So let's have you guys come over here. We're going to quickly move my troops over to this side. Archers can continue doing their thing. You, my dear, let's give you a boost towards this unit of spearmen. This may help them out a bit. Because all of a sudden now they're fighting with 50 melee attack. That's a lot better than what their enemy is dealing with. Alright, the Encore is finishing off the enemy's general quite nicely. Alright, we'll see what we can do here. You guys apparently are fighting a losing battle against their units of swordsmen. That's quite surprising. So if you guys come over here, you guys come after these. We should get that really good charge bonus coming in from them. Bowman, let's see if we can have you attack the Free Militia Company. You guys need to pull out now so you can charge back in afterwards. Let's have you guys charge into this unit here. What do we have here? Free Company. Let's have you charge into that unit there and wipe them out. You need to finish off the Leon Kerr, finish off that unit for me. This unit's shattered. Fantastic. So is this. What we need to do now is start chasing down their crossbowmen, and we should be done with this battle. Taking a few casualties, but on the whole, I'm pretty happy with this. Right, let's switch over now and start killing off the survivors. We want to kill as many of the reinforcements as we can, ideally. So you guys come after here, you guys after them, you guys after the artillery crew. The Encore, we need you to finish off that unit over there, I would say. Bowman, come over and take out this unit of swordsmen. We should be able to finish them off from the rear, I think. Alright, you guys chase after this unit. You guys can come off this now. Okay, that should be everything we need to worry about. Let's just speed things up now. Let my armies finish them off. Alright, one thing I definitely need to do with such a game like Warhammer as well is to start really sort of zooming in so we can see troops fighting. I know it's something that Surreal Beliefs does quite a lot, and I think it does make the battles a lot more interesting when we can actually watch them fighting one another. We just have to try and keep it in mind for we don't get too distracted. So if you guys come over here now and you guys come after these, that way then we can finish them off. The Encore, let's have you come and attack these units of swordsmen. Right, let's have you switch around and attack these guys before they make it off, ideally. Close. But there we go, apparently that was a close victory. Now I disagree with that, personally. I mean, according to this, we lost 240 men. Okay, that was a reasonable amount. But they're mainly from our units of spearmen and arms, which aren't really designed to fight properly. They're just there to hold the line as much as possible while we bring in our knights. So that's not a thing, and then in return we've managed to kill over 1,200 of the enemy. So roughly every single man of mine that they killed, we managed to kill 4 of theirs. And looking at these, I mean, my artillery did extremely well. These trebuchets managed to get over 100 kills each. Thanks to chasing down enemy units, we've managed to kill 186, 130s. All my knights have killed over 100. Yeah, easily. Archers did extremely well, despite the fact they're just peasants. 70 kills each, on average. Even the Encore managed to kill 55. Extremely well done. But there we go, we managed to achieve a close victory. We picked up a magical item, a charmed shield. Which means for 17 seconds, when we activate it, we can get 24 missile parry and 22% damage resistance. And a passive thing of +5 melee defense. That's going to be quite nice. Now we can offer redemption and get some replenishment back. We can execute the captives or ransom them but lose some chivalry. That's pretty early on. We don't actually have a lot of chivalry, but I would like to have the unit replenishment if possible. So we're just going to go and take that. But since we wiped out most of the enemy's reinforcements, and at the garrison as well, what this should mean is that in the, not this turn, the next turn, we should be able to actually go after their units. We have to be prepared though. The Skull Smashers look like they're about to move in. Ugh, right. Well, the balance of power is very much in my favour, and even if you look on the low end, it's still very much. I'm just going to auto-resolve this one. Oh Christ, maybe I should have fought that. But we managed to completely eliminate their force, so we'll take it as it is for now. We can't actually offer them redemption, but I am going to just take the chivalry hit, get that extra cash coming in right now. But once we get the siege equipment up, we can then capture Marienburg without really any opposition to worry about. Oh, what was that? Grave for the greedy. It's better to swim in the sea below than to swing in the air and feed the crow. So because we defeated their general, Edward van der Crow, which I presume is one of the lords from Mixu's legendary lords pack, if we're in the local province of Leoncoeur, we get double the amount of income from ports. That's a nice little bonus, especially with Marienburg soon to be under our control. Alright, can we do anything about it right now? Well, we can go afterwards. You know what? Screw it. Alright, we took a few hits, but none of my units are lost, and we can start replenishing again right now. Oh, we could sack it for a fair bit of money. That would be quite nice, but that's a major chivalry. Ah, interesting. I know if you go after some of the enemy factions, like the Orcs for example, we can raise them and actually get a chivalry boost. But it used to be the same, I believe, for all the races. But now they've made it so if we go after a human faction like this, we actually lose a lot of chivalry if we raise it. Well, in that case, we have no real option. We're going to have to occupy. And we gained the blessing of the lady. Your deeds in noble and glorious battle have attracted the Fae and ancient lady, who have seen fit to bless you with her favour as reward for heroism. You shine now with newfound radiance, let no unfoe block your path. With the lady's your sword and shield, brook no resistance and strike down evil in her name. Very nicely done. And we picked up the Sword of Anti-Heroes. So this sword was said to be smelted in a cursed furnace and then quenched in the bloody body of a dying champion. We now get magical attacks, which I believe he had anyway, so no big addition. We've got melee attack plus 5, and we've got this abilities. For 40 seconds, we can get 20% armor damage, weapon damage, and 20% armor piercing. Nice. And we picked up a holy icon. Priceless artifact. This triptych of the lady ingrains the faith to females' magical attacks. So we get 15% magical resistance. We've killed Hans van Fadid. Okay. So next turn we're going to go after Grunzint and we're going to wipe them out. But for now we're going to focus on getting my stats up. We've got quite a few points to spend. Now one of the mods I got, it gives us for every turn, both me and the AI factions get 2 points for our characters. For both lords and for heroes. So we've got quite a few points to spend. It'd be time to spend them. We're going to go for that one, that one. I want him to be a decent enough fighter. Now, obviously, it's going to be a little bit difficult because he's not admittedly the best compared to some of the lords out there. But I want to at least try and see what we can do about it. Basic training to reduce vigor. And, by the way, we also got a mod in place for the Old World factions to have a skill tree very similar to what the New World ones do. So that's why we'll probably see a few things like here we've got like font, which is spelled wrong, by the way. It should be... I believe it should be F-O-N-T. But that's going to work up from there. We can go through these upgrades. We've got Beloved Son of Bretonnia over here. Ooh. That would be nice. Map wide. If your leadership is higher than 50%, but you've got 50% less thing, you get extra bonuses and immune to psychology. Nice. Okay, for the moment, let's focus on some other stuff. We'll leave those for the moment. let's give what we got and transfer it to the lady. That's not going to be such a big deal because we're not going to be spending a lot of time in our territory. Extra control. We do need to get a few of these. I'll tell you what, let's go for... In fact, let's come here. Let's spend 2 points on lowball militia, because I would like to improve my troops that's going to hold the line while my knights charge in. And as well, let's give you some extra melee defense. Going to make you even harder to hit now as a result. So that's you done. Florence de Beau, we can give you 2 points. We'll give you... Let's give you scouting... No, let's give you harmonic convergence, and then we can give you some of this stuff. Let's give you Wind Blast for moderate magical damage. So we can blow enemies away a bit, so to speak. Right, from here we've got Marienburg Docks. We can continue with the Cinnabar Mine in order to get a bit more trade. We're making a fair bit of money now, thanks to the combination of the two. And we do have the potential to go after Gossel as well. All these options. Let's see.
I shall do what I can.
Let's grab 2 units of these. We're going to let my troops have a little bit of time to replenish. It's going to take a little while for them to do so, but... we'll get another unit of... Let's get another unit of Spearmen as well. Like so. Petkurion, we can't really do much about upgrading. I would like to try and upgrade this to the next tier of farms at some point. Yeah, we can't do it right now, but we're also going to have 2 more building slots, so in fact it'd be a better idea to save the money. The reason being is that as soon as we upgrade to the tier 2 settlement, I would like to be able to get access to upgrade the cavalry stadiums even, the cavalry stables, so we can actually get knights. And that's going to be a fantastic addition to my forces once we get our hands on them. Now, we do need to go after both Grunzint in order to eliminate them, and so that way then we can actually potentially claim a new territory, because it will give me some money. Especially from the trade resource, but on the other hand, we've got a major problem here with vampiric corruption, so it's not worth me going after it, in hindsight. And in fact, it's so high, we are actually going to take attrition just trying to march over to there. So what I'm going to have to do is basically just come over here, raise it to the ground, and maybe we can go after Gorsel, which is now starting to recruit a new army. That'll be something to deal with as well. The only thing is, do I want to go after Gorsel? If I'm honest, I'm not particularly that fussed about going after them, because I can understand going after Marienburg, but going after Gorsel will eventually mean me going into Imperial territory, and I just don't want to deal with that right now. I want the Empire to keep their territory, and by going over there, it's just going to lead to issues, isn't it? Right. One more turn is what we need. What do we have in Grunzint in terms of a garrison? Can we see? Orc boys, goblins, orc arrow boys, skull smasher, archers. Tell you what, we're going to go after them now, before they get too powerful. So, let me see. We'll go after them now, we'll finish this turn, and then we'll end the episode then. Because I'm going to have to do a bit of editing anyway. Or not. I'll tell you what, they've got Goblin Riders as well. I'm going to see about fighting this. It means for a slightly longer episode, but I'm sure you guys don't mind, especially once I cut out these load screens. Right, where do we have a slight advantage? This hill is slightly better than there, but we do have trees over here. Okay, let's do this. We're going to have you guys here, we're going to have you pull back just so you're about here. In particular, let's swap you two around. Like so. Let's have you guys slightly further back there, you guys slightly back here, and then you guys can stretch out a bit like so.
Armed and ready!
Alright, bowmen. We're going to put the bowmen in front for the moment, so they can fire to get a few extra shots in. Which will start the bat. Damsel can stay here. Leonka is going to be on the top here. We'll have field trebuchets right here. In fact, let's put you just straight behind our troops like that. Let's put you guys over here, and we'll put you in the trees if we can. I don't know how possible it's going to be, given the lack of cover. We'll try what we can. See, you guys not so much around here, maybe? Or you're not willing to hide in the woods because you consider it dishonorable. It wouldn't surprise me with the Bretonnians. Fine, we'll just leave it like this. We'll have you guys on the flank instead. Okay, you guys, we'll have you pull up in front, start the battle. Alright, we're gonna have these guys go straight after their wolf riders. We should be able to eliminate them quite quickly. Their goblin archers aren't going to be that much of a threat. Let's have you guys get ready to deal with them. You're not going to have to move that far forward. You can just start shooting straight away. Thank you. Alright, how far away can we cast Wind Blasts? Oh, crap. It's actually quite a low tier spell. Okay, let's put you slightly... We'll leave you slightly here, in fact. Alright, General... Where's their general? I would like to try and go after him as quickly as I can by myself. So, I tell you what, Leonka, let's make your way over to here. Okay, Pegasus Knights, you've defeated them. Okay. Let's go have you guys go after the next unit of Wolf Boys. Okay, you two need to get ready to start the charge. Alright, how are you guys doing over here, quick? They're losing decisively, but we are taking quite a bit of arrow fire thanks to these Orc Arrow Boys and Goblins. Definitely something to bear in mind. General, you can go after this Shaman for me, please. Alright, Debo, can we start using your ability anytime soon? Alright, let's see if we can target it just right. Okay, let's do that. Okay, let's get ready to deal with these quickly. Move you up to here. Bowman, let's pull you guys back now. Alright, General, you're charging in towards the... we are charging into them, but we've got quite a few units to deal with. Alright, you guys have chased off that unit. We've got plenty of Arrow Boys to worry about now. Let's ignore them for the moment. We'll head back now to our territory. Let's have you guys charge into that unit of Orc Boys. Alright, Damsel, we need you to pull back. Let's have you cast a spell on here. Damn, that was a big hit. Alright, let's activate some of your abilities for the moment. Bianca, let's pull you back out. Okay, we've defeated them. We need you guys now to start pulling in now to do some damage against these units. Okay, let's have you guys come after this unit, please. Spearman, let's have you guys come over here, and we need you to attack this unit of Arrow Boys. Alright, that should be enough to drive them off. Alright. Okay, King, we need you to pull out, please. Okay, this unit's already retreated. Fantastic. Alright, let's have you guys now come after... Damn. That unit really wasn't happy with the fact that it's getting targeted by the Shaman spells. So have you guys come after them, you guys come after them. Now, let's pull you guys back over here. Let's have you charge over here for the moment, and then we'll have to have you come after these Orc Boys. Alright, let's give you some more magic resistance in the meantime. You're winning decisively against my Leon Kerr. That's very hard to believe. Very hard to believe, I must say. Alright, let's pull you guys back, Leon Kerr back before he gets killed. You guys need to go after those Wolf Riders for me, please. Bowmen, go after the unit of our boys. Knights of the Realm, go after these units. Just charge at them, please, and take them out. Crap, that was a powerful hit then. Okay, lady. See what we can do here. Use your ability on that. You guys, stop doing that. Just stop there. Get ready to fire. I can't... Oh, dear God, man. Right. Spearmen, you need to charge forward now into the artillery pieces. You guys need to drop your equipment and pull back. Right, that's that done. Okay, you guys go after the goblin archers here now and finish them off. Right, any more units we need to worry about? Just these guys over here. So you guys go after them. You activate that. Alright, let's give you that again. Increase your weapon damage a moment. Okay, goblin archers are fine. We'll have you guys now firing at the units of goblins over here. Knights of the Realm, we'll have you chase after that unit of our boys. These guys have broken. Victory is now mine. A decisive victory this time, as expected. But we now lost 169 troops. That wasn't too bad considering we went in with quite low numbers, only 750. We were outnumbered nearly 2 to 1. And we still managed to defeat them quite well. These managed to do extremely well, 127, 183 kills. These guys have been really ranking them up over the past couple of battles. Trebuchet's done it quite well as well. Even Peasant Bowmen made a good account in. Especially these units here. They were quite reduced when it came to this fight, and yet they did extremely well. Leon Kerr, not so much. I mean, the fact that he nearly got killed by a wizard. Of all things. I mean, admittedly, Zoggoth is a savage orc, so I believe that does have an impression that they tend to be a little bit better when it comes to fighting. Especially with armor piercing and that compared to a normal orc wizard. Or shaman. But Jesus Christ, the fact that he nearly got killed by that, I mean, on the other hand as well, he also got swamped by those few units, so luckily we managed to pull him out before he died, but we're going to have to take a little while now to replenish his health a bit. So what's going to happen is once we've raised the settlement to the ground, we'll pull them back next time, back to Marienburg, so we can at least get their replenishment up a bit. By that point then we can start focusing a bit then on back in Caron in order to upgrade the stables and so forth. So we've got a few plans, we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, so with that, we've now got a decisive victory. We've completely eliminated the enemy. So we can subjugate them thanks to the mod. We can't normally subjugate orcs, but with this particular mod for Liberate, Confederate and that we can. But instead we're just going to go and raise it to the ground, which is going to give me extra chivalry for purging the land of evil. So let's go ahead and do that. We could always come back and take it in the future once we've dealt with down here with Blackstone Post. But we're going to have to start making our way back to Marienburg. We are taking attrition right now, thanks to being in vampire-held territory with a high level of vampiric corruption. Now we'll quickly do this. We'll give you a few points. I'm going to give you some more points in that. And we're going to go for Devoted of the Goddess as well. Just want to give him this for the moment so we can eventually start getting things like Lightning Strike. We should be able to get one as well for... Can we get one as him to try and help out with our public... No, we can't. Huh. Interesting. I was hoping we could find something that's going to help with getting extra replenishment, but apparently that's not going to be happening. Oh well, at least we can get Lightning Strike in the meantime. We can do that. Florence de Bow, let's give you Ivana's Thunderbolt for the moment, and we'll give you Curse of Midnight as well. Okay, you've got one more turn before that's done, but now that we've eliminated the orcs, we actually now got positive control coming in, because we eliminated that faction, and therefore we don't have to worry about orc raiding parties, so to speak. So let's switch back to Realm of Chivalry. We'll be able to get cheaper buildings next turn when we actually can afford to do that. Marienburg. Well, yeah, we'll upgrade this. We've got plenty of cash now. Why not? Anything we can do here? Okay, we can do an hereditary war if we want, or we can increase our capacity for peasants. Not that big a deal right now, I'll leave it. But there we go, not a bad first turn. We've managed to eliminate a faction from the game already with the Skull Smashers and Grunzint. We've captured Marienburg, which is going to be a great addition to our coffers, especially as we upgrade the ports. And we're in the process now been able to get myself some knights over the next few turns. So what's going to happen in the next episode? Well, I needed to decide in the meantime what I'm going to do about Marienburg. We do have Gorsel over here, and technically this is all part of the same province. So I can see in my head the sort of reasoning behind me being able to take both settlements and have it so it doesn't even need to concern the Empire. But we will need to start looking into what we can do down in Bretonnia. Now, luckily we haven't had anything like one of the Northsker factions declaring war on me or anything like that. But we do need to make sure my army is going to be nearby just to prepare for any eventualities. And we're going to have to start looking into dealing with Heinrich Kemmler. We've got Musilon as well to fight. And we can start doing research in order to look into confederating with some of the other dukedoms, I should say, in order to increase our standing and eventually unite Bretonnia. So much stuff to do. We'll wait and see. But anyway, that's all going to be happening in the next episode. So I hope you enjoyed this extra long one. And I hope you join me next time on Tuesday now for more action with Bretonnia. But until then, take care and goodbye for now.